So this is from the Steelers Live crew, Dale Lolley, Matt Williamson. They talk about the Browns' defensive front and that running back, Najee Harris.
When you look at that defensive tackle group from a year ago, I frankly thought it was one of the worst position groups in all of football. And the Browns obviously agreed because they went out and spent money on Tomlinson. They used a draft pick. They went out and really fortified their defensive front with others besides Myles Garrett. Like, if you looked at that front, he had 16 sacks last year. Number 2 on their team had 3. I mean, there was nobody around him. Well, that's not the case at all now. But still, back to that voluminous running and the physical, nature that Harris brings, I think you have to at least test what was a weakness from a year ago over and over.
Najee's played 4 career games against the Browns, averages over 100 yards on the ground per game. Is that something that can consistently be taken over season by season?
I think so. I mean, absolutely. And again, it's going to be a lot of touches. I think it'll pay off late in games. What's really interesting to me about this matchup is last year when the Steelers had a lead at halftime, they were close to unbeatable, where the Browns under Stefanski are the total opposite. Their halftime leads, if they're losing at halftime, they almost always end up with a loss. So if you can kind of keep it close, go in with a small lead, and then just keep leaning on the run game, I think you'll be in good shape.
They only ran the ball 10 times last week because they fell behind so quickly. The other thing is, Stefanski didn't have a quarterback he liked. I mean, at Baker Mayfield's 2-0. That's great. But Stefanski now has his quarterback.
Man, I don't know which games they're watching. I mean, I know you got to do it one of the network shows, but, I mean, you got physically beat up yet last week against the 49ers. I mean, listen, they were hitting Najee Harris so hard that they had to abandon the run halfway through the first quarter. I don't know whether they didn't see the game against because Joe Mixon is a lot better than Najee Harris, and Joe Mixon got nothing going. It's wishful thinking that you could come out there and just say, we're going to run the ball, and then hopefully we can wear them down in the fourth quarter. Well, that only works if you got a quarterback that's going to make you pay. And I don't know if they saw the pressure that we were able to generate with the defensive line we got. I think if the Browns, if they ran the game plan that I just heard and you just played, the Browns would be ecstatic. They would be jumping up for joy. Okay, you're going to get Najee Harris the ball 45 times, we'll take it. Because I haven't seen too many games where he's getting it 45 times and they've been a dominant run team. And by the way, up front, the PFF grades were not good for any of their linemen. None of those linemen, including the fact that Kenny Pickett was turning the ball over. So to me, I think the only chance for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game is they need to run play action. They need to get the ball out to Pickens. They need to get quick 3-step game off. I don't think that's the game plan to be messing around with trying to establish the run and basically running against what the Browns defense is the strength of the defense is D-line. I don't think that's a good idea.